I saw that there were two chairs. I could actually see two persons sitting there. They were all dressed in white.
A pregnant cat jumped over a body and it stood up and started to jump. The undertaker immediately took a broom and knocked it down.
Are you able to speak with us?
Wow.
I have been staying in Pulau Ubin for more than 30 years ago. Everyone here knows about the German girl shrine that has been around for more than 100 years. She is known as Datuk Ku Niang. Many people seek her for blessings, ask her for help in career, business, relationships, and also for wealth, because she grants winning lottery numbers to those who pray to her. She also appears in some of her believers' dreams, as she did in mine, but only for one time. She didn't say anything to me, but I could smell the fragrance of her burnt incense.
I underwent a major heart surgery 15 years ago. It was a 50-50 chance that I would survive. I prayed to Datuk Ku Niang to help me. I believe that she did, and she also gave me blessings.
Pulau Ubin is home to about 9 temples and 11 shrines, but the most outstanding would be the German Girls Shrine. In 1914, the Imperial British Army rounded a handful of German coffee planters living in Pulau Ubin and sent them to mainland Singapore. Legend has it that a young German girl escaped the British Army, only leading to her tragic death when she fell over a cliff. Her body was discovered by the locals, who recognized who she was and decided to build a shrine to remember her by. But as years passed, this European girl was worshipped like a local deity by the Chinese, and she was even identified as a local guardian spirit known as Datuk Ku Niang. Death has been given a new meaning when a normal person is suddenly recognized as a deity or a minor god after death by the people in the community.
There was a man who emigrated from Singapore to Australia when he was a young boy, and so he didn't know anything about Pulau Ubin at all. But he dreamt about Datuk Ku Niang for 3 consecutive nights, and she asked for a specific Barbie doll from a particular shop to be placed on her shrine. He called to find out if there was such a place known as Pulau Ubin, and to his surprise, what the lady told him in his dreams were true. He quickly went to the shop, and the moment he walked in, he saw the Barbie doll. He bought it and sent it to Singapore for Datuk Ku Niang. This is not a temple actually, it is a memorial to remember this German girl that we address as Datuk Ku Niang, because this place has a deep historical value. It is a heritage.
The tendency to immortalize and deify someone who once lived as a human is common, as seen in the worship of the god of war and justice Guan Gong, who could have been a historical figure known as General Guan Yu. And instead of being just a normal ghost that is deemed scary, certain individuals that were special were afforded higher status even after death. The question then remains, does the recognition by people actually change the fate of these ghosts or spirits? To understand more about this peculiar ranking of guardian spirits like Datuk Ku Niang, I am meeting with Grandmaster Chiu, a senior Taoist priest and Ghostbuster, whom I hope can shed more light on this matter and maybe to communicate with her to ask for some answers.
Her death was tragic, and the state in which she died was fear and possibly even anger, because she was very young. What happened, and also at that point of death, what changed whereby she can now be an object of worship?
She was chased by British soldiers and died as a result of a fall, as confirmed by dowsing rods. After she died, the remains of her body, especially her hair, that was how she was identified, were discovered by the locals. Because she died tragically at the place, she has some attachment to the place itself. And since the people there also help her, she wants to stay behind as a guardian, or what we locally call a dato, and help these people by granting their wishes or protecting the place.
If we want to investigate further and try to communicate with her, what do we need to do?
It is common for the people to give her offerings like cosmetics. She wants dresses, preferably red, and some perfumes and flowers.
What methods can we use when we go later to investigate her presence in Pulau Ubin?
First of all, we can use the dowsing rod to indicate the presence of the spirits. And secondly, we can also use some flour to be sprayed over the floor in front of the altar table to see whether there are prints that could indicate her presence.
There are really no guarantees when you're dealing with the spirit realm, the ghost, the unseen. But we can try to see whether we can get through to her and get some answers from her. So stay with me and follow me to Pulau Ubin with Grandmaster Chu.
What will happen later tonight at Pulau Ubin? Will we get a glimpse of Nato Kunyang? Master Chu and I have arrived at the German Ghost Shrine, and we are now asking for permission from her to conduct our investigations.
So what we're going to do now is going to take flour, and sprinkle the flour around her altar area so that her presence can be marked on it for us to witness. Earlier, Grandmaster Chu had asked her whether she would cooperate in this way, and she had replied positively. So now we're going to prepare the flour, and then we shall see. We have now left the area of the shrine because we're allowing Nato Kunyang her space to see what she will show us. It could actually just be the different temperatures of the soil, absorbing it differently to create a difference in the shade. This cover, the white plastic here, was taken off to open just now as an offering, and it was put down here, which is why there's an oil stain, perfume stain. Now it's put back.
After spending more than 2 hours at the German Ghost Shrine, we did not get any conclusive evidence that she was present with us that night. However, I am not saying that she is either real or unreal, because the believers and worshippers never doubted her existence. But for tonight's research, I am disappointed that there were no formation of footprints on the floor, and we were unsure who closed the lid of the perfume bottle on her altar. The German Ghost Shrine has become more than a memorial shrine. But what remains a mystery is that her identity was never discovered with certainty. Upon research, it was learned that 2 German planters and merchants did own the coffee plantations in Pulau Ubin, as their names Hermann Merlinghans and Daniel Brandt were on the land titles. But there is no direct connection to the mysterious German girl, as it was unclear if either of them had a missing daughter. Despite uncertainties surrounding the Nato Kuliang legend, she has still become entrenched to the heart of this island until today. I came across a case about a lady who was murdered in a park. Unlike the German girl or Nato Kuliang at Pulau Ubin, this female spirit is suffering the same fate of a ghost and wandering spirit. She is probably shunned, perceived to be awful, and perhaps even hunted and captured.
While jogging, she was being attacked, and she was being dragged in the bushes, been raped, subsequently murdered. Then since that day onwards, people has been claiming hearing sightings of a figure and screams, cries. Till now, the murder was never been found. Then, while doing investigation, I saw something inside, a white mist. It's standing on where the lady is.
On the other hand, I was told that where the murder of the lady took place, there exist also other beings like demons and devils. What are they? Their characteristics may influence our understanding of death, as these creatures are said to be from hell. I am going to speak to an exorcist and demon slayer, Sheikh Zahurin, about the demonic world.
Jamat what is your answer? Are you going to leave? Move your hand. Move, come.
How do you define the difference between demon and lost soul and Satan? Wouldn't Satan and demon be the same neighborhood?
Demons is a being created from hellfire. They are like us, only thing that they are unseen. Okay? And they have different types. They live in a community. Okay? They do have religions and they have families. The good ones, they won't come close to human. They keep to themselves. Some of them, they are mischievous, they will come and disturb us. This Satan, they behave in the evil ways. Normally, this Satan, they don't have any religion at all. Okay, then they will cause havoc and they will cause a lot of mischievous thing and misery to human. Okay, they will come and possess. It's different from the demons. Satan, they enjoy to make a person to behave similarly like them.
Which is purely evil.
Yes. Purely evil. My purpose is to help them, so my ways of doing things, I will talk and I will persuade these demons, talk to them, okay, and ask them to think about it, okay, to understand why I am here. I give them an offer that they can't refuse. It's either they leave peacefully and then don't ever come back, or I will kill them spiritually.
How does one kill one spiritually?
The study process is so simple. Okay, this is what I do. Okay, I place my hand on this imaginary head. Okay, so I lift up my hand and I imagine that this is my sword. Okay, and what I do, okay, I pull my sword back as though that I'm going to swing the sword very hard, and I must look into the eye of the demon. Then from there, I'll swing. Then after that, I will slit the throat. This way, this way, okay, and this way.
On the head, on the head. Okay, correct. Your left hand is the knife.
Then when I'm done, I will pull. Okay. And my patient will fall.
How do demons and Satans fit into the territory of ghosts? According to Sheikh, these creatures may distort our understanding of death and even ghosts that were once humans, what he calls lost souls. In our next investigation, I hope to get some answers from these beings themselves.
Kamu bertanya kerana ada keperluan je.
This cover, the white plastic here, was taken off.
I'm at a location that is said to be haunted by a female spirit, a lady who was brutally raped and murdered. I've invited both Singapore paranormal investigators and Sheikh Zahurin and hopefully obtain some results about the existence of life after death and possibly other unseen beings like demons.
Desmond, I believe you have done investigations here before.
Yes, yes.
Can you share with me some of the findings you had previously?
A specific white cloth about this size that goes behind the volunteer in a very high speed.
What was it?
The temperature slightly lower.
How much lower?
They're still there.
Where?
They're still there.
Sheikh seemed to have picked up the presence of spirits in this area and his hand was cold after feeling the energies here. However, we have decided to move on to the next location where the murder of the lady took place.
This is where the exact location where the lady jogger was being attacked. Okay, inside the bushes. Yeah. So last time, after the incident happened, then someone actually placed a goddess of mercy inside that area.
And you said earlier that she was sexually abused.
Yes.
And then when she was found, she was hanging at a cliff.
Yes. There's a cliff. Yes.
It's still there?
Yes, it's a cliff. Yes.
When you do what you do, calling and trying to communicate, what am I expecting to see or what can be expected that goes on camera?
You may see leaves start to move. Okay, you can feel like there's a strong wind out of nowhere, or you can feel like there's something hot passing through you.
And on your side, it will be installing and putting the gadgets in place. All right, that sounds pretty clear to me. Let's set up.
We have decided to set up our research point at where the assault and murder happened and hopefully to establish a connection with the spirit of the lady.
Assalamualaikum ya Ma'syarul Jin. Kami di sini bukanlah datang untuk mengganggu kamu. Kami ingin bikin penyelidikan untuk mencari informasi yang kami perlukan. Kami berharap kamu tidak mengganggu kami. Kerana kami datang dengan baik dan kami tidak bertujuan untuk merosakkan apa-apa.
What happened next was completely out of my expectation as I was hoping to communicate with the lady spirit. Instead, the beings who showed up claimed to be forest demons. Each time they spoke or answered my questions, the ghost meter would blink and the CCTV camera received interferences in the form of a hissing sound. This is my unfiltered conversation with the so-called demons.
Do you understand when I am speaking? Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Thank you. I am told that many tragic deaths took place once in year 2000 and 2008. Can you tell me if the spirit of the dead lady is still here or she has reincarnated? Here is one blink. She's reincarnated. Alright? Oh, gone.
Adakah di antara kamu bertiga yang nampak kejadian itu? Ya Ma'syarul Jin. Berikan jawapan. Satu blink untuk ya.
Who's that?
Yes. Yes.
Who's that?
Yes. Yes.
Would it be a better question to say we should not talk about it anymore and just let it pass? Yes, one blink. No, two blinks.
Ya.
Okay. I understand.
Whether true or not, I felt compassion coming from the alleged forest demons. When I asked about the murder of the girl, they refused to cooperate or give direct answers, as they appeared a bit saddened by this tragic death. The audio interferences picked up by the CCTV cameras seemed to correspond with the timing of the questions asked and their response. Did these demons really communicate with us that night? As we were leaving the location, we captured interesting photographs of a human-like figure hiding behind these pillars. Was the lady spirit present to listen to our conversations? My understanding of death and beyond has changed as I begin to see how our personal fears of losing our lives and loved ones have indeed created a series of colorful customs, artistic works, ghost stories, and hauntings.
I've also come to observe and learn that many a times a space could be just merely a space, but then it becomes a recording machine for what we input into that space, what we want to label it: haunted, peaceful, cold, warm. So sometimes we do have to learn or think about
Whether a place is haunted because we say so,
or because it really is. Like I always say, what we see may not be real, and what is real we may not see.